Welcome back to another episode of the Anchor and Ascend podcast with me, your host, Angela Papa. It feels really good to be back. So I'm back on YouTube. So if you're listening to this on Apple or Spotify and you would like to watch a 32-year-old Italian woman that lives in Florida talk about energetics, hop over and watch the YouTube. You can see me talk. So I'm really excited to bring in different ways to get these messages across because I myself have just gone through an initiation of my own, and we're going to be talking about that today. So today is all about the energetics of March. Since 2024, oh my gosh, 2024, I'm living in a different year. It is 2025. Since 2025 has started, I feel like everybody, including myself, has been going through it. It's been an intense start to the year. I mean, collectively and also individually. And also a slow start to the year. Let's be honest. January felt like 50 years. February went a little bit faster, but really why we had to go through whatever it is we went through in January and in February was to prepare us for what's to come this month in March. So we were faced maybe with things that we thought we healed, right? Maybe with things that we thought we looked at already. And then we were faced with them again. Right in our face, like, nah, bitch, you still need to heal this. Nah, bitch, you still need to integrate this, right? And that is because whatever was coming up for us in the first 2 months of the year, it was coming up to come out. It was coming up because we could not move forward with those things. So whether that is internal beliefs about ourselves, whether that is emotions we are still holding on to, whether that is patterns we are acting out, whether that was somewhere we were living, or whether that was a relationship we had to get rid of, or whether that was a job that we had to shift, right? Whatever. Things were shifting. Things were moving. We were releasing. We were purging. Whatever left had to leave to make space for what is coming in. And that is internally and externally. Personally, I was feeling it internally more, and I feel like that is what everyone for the most part was feeling because we're about to go through some more external things. The external is about to be reflected off of what was internally shifted in the beginning of the year, right? And that is just like a note and a lesson on alchemy and on transformation. In order for our outer world to shift, our inner world must shift first. And we saw that very clearly the first 2 months of this year. So if you went in and you did the inner work, if you didn't shy away from the intensity, if you allowed yourself to fucking lie on the floor and scream and cry and let it all out so you could be reborn, I see you. I honor you and I am proud of you. And if you didn't, if you shied away from that, if you resisted that maybe, this is your sign right now to do that. You're going to want to do that before this energy comes in. Because let me tell you, the energy of March in my 2025 astrology forecast, which by the way, if you didn't get, there's going to be a link in the show notes to get the replay and the PDF of all the astrology you need to know for the year. So anyway, in my 2025 astrology forecast, I quoted the month of March to be shifting of the tides. That's really what it is. We are having the shifting of the tides this month, baby. And it is for the better. Okay? I mean, just like in a 3D sense, right? It's spring. The spring is going to be coming March 20th. What is the springtime? all the seeds that we planted are now starting to bloom. The seeds that we planted in the wintertime, with winter solstice, are now starting to bloom. So we are also starting to bloom. Okay? Now, there's a lot going on in March. So I just want to reiterate, because I feel like someone needs this reiterated that's listening. If you haven't done the inner work, if you haven't looked at the stuff that's coming up for you, if you resisted it, do that now. Okay, do that now. Because if you don't, eclipse season's, it's March 5th. Eclipse season's already here. But the first eclipse isn't until March 13th. So if you haven't done it before then, eclipse season might rock you around a little bit. And we don't want to be rocked around. We're done. We're done with the rocking. Right? I know I am. So, by the end of March is when it's really going to start revving up. Because that's when we have the final solar eclipse in Aries. And we're going to get into it because it's its whole thing. And I am, as an Aries, very excited for it, I must say. But let's just start in a chronological order, why don't we? So in this episode, we'll be going into the astrology of March, as well as the energetics of March. Okay? So I'm going to be weaving in, basically, looking at patterns and how to work with them. So if you haven't yet, if you're not driving or something, take out your notepad, take some notes. You're going to want to take some notes on this one. So, we are starting to feel the forward movement in our lives. Mars has just stationed direct in Cancer. Mars has been retrograde for a bit. Mars is our willpower. Mars is our action. Mars is our drive. So we might have been feeling like we were pushing a boulder uphill. We weren't feeling the flow. Maybe we weren't even feeling the determination. I know I wasn't, right? Maybe we were feeling a little lazy, and that is okay. We were meant to be not pushing forward. And maybe you felt like you were trying to do something, trying to get something, right? Maybe get a new job. You've been putting your application out there a million times and you weren't getting anything. Maybe if you have a business, you were trying to get clients, you weren't getting anything. Maybe if you were trying to get a new home, you were putting in applications, you weren't getting anything. Whatever it is, that's because Mars is retrograde. And now we're starting to have the forward movement energy. So get on the back of that horse and ride it. Ride that wave. Because with Mars going direct in Cancer, it is the green light. It is the green light. And you're probably already feeling it. You're probably already feeling things starting to move along, and it's like, oh, thank God, I'm no longer in the mud. Okay? Now, I'm going to be saying this a lot in this episode, but look to see which house Cancer is in your own personal birth chart. That will tell you which house is being affected, will tell you what area of life is being affected. So it will tell you what area of life is now having this forward movement energy. And if you don't know, there's going to be links in the show notes to get an astrology reading with me. I'll let you know. Don't worry, babe, I got you. Okay? So, on top of that, Venus just went retrograde in Aries on the 1st. Now, Venus doesn't go retrograde a lot, so it's kind of a big deal. And, it's starting in Aries and then it's going back to Pisces. And Aries and Pisces are a little lit up right now, okay? Right now it's Pisces season as I record this. It's about to be Aries season. Oh, once we get into April, don't worry, there's going to be another April episode. Aries is going to be lit the fuck up, okay? So Pisces and Aries are getting a lot of energy right now. So you're definitely going to want to look at which houses are affected by those two signs, let me tell you. Now, Venus retrograde in Aries, we're starting out this month a little like trial by fire, initiation by fire. Aries is relationships, Aries is finance, Aries is love, Aries, Venus Venus is relationships, Venus is finance, Venus is love, Venus is eros, okay? Retrograding meaning we are releasing, we are letting go, we are reviewing, we are looking back. Maybe you're feeling like a moment to review your finances, but it's in Aries. So you're doing it in a really spicy way and in a fast way, okay? Whatever lessons that this Venus retrograde wants to come in for you, it's going to happen fast because Aries does not do anything slow at all. Aries is extremely fast, okay? It is a spicy start to the month. Let's just say that. With relationships, with money, with love, okay? So just be aware of that. Be aware if you want to look at your finances in a different way or a new way. Be aware if you want to show up in your relationships in a new way, or maybe you just want to cut one out because it's no longer in alignment with you and you're like, this is the time. Trust that, right? So today's the 5th, so that means yesterday on the 4th, Mercury also entered Aries. Mercury is your mind. Mercury is your communication. Mercury is your thinking, your speaking, right? Mercury is also getting the fire. You're talking a little spicier, more directly. You're not dancing around topics anymore. This is not a time to dance around topics. Now, why is that? Because March wants to bring in a new beginning into your life. March is a springboard that is available for you to jump into an entirely new timeline. It really is, and I do not say this lightly, and I'm telling you, I've been looking at the astrology for March and April for months now, and I've been pumped. Like, the astrology is good for quantum leaping. It is good for timeline jumping. It is. But it doesn't mean it's going to come without the healing, without the transformation, right? Like we can't go around that. I'm sorry. I know it'd be nice if we could just sit back and twiddle our thumbs and enter into a new life, but that's literally not how this works. That is not transformation. So let's just honor it and use it for our own good. Why don't we? Now, the fact that Mercury is in Aries right now, fast thinking, to the point thinking, right? We need to be making decisions. We need to be extra clear. We need to be spicy. We need to be direct in our communication and in our thought processes if we are to start this new timeline this year. This year and this month, right? March, April, really. Why? Because when a thought enters your head, or a belief that is not in alignment with the person you are trying to become, you need to cut that shit out immediately. We don't have time for that. We do not have time to be giving in to the small parts of ourselves. We do not have time to be giving in to the part of ourselves that's scared. I don't want to do that thing. I don't want to change that thing. I'm comfortable over here. No. We don't have time for the comfortability. Not if you want to start this new life. Not if you want to have this vision, this dream that you have for yourself come to life. This reality you want to step into come to life. You cannot be giving in to the small parts of you. You cannot be giving in to the parts of you that don't think you're worthy or don't think you're ready or doesn't think that, people are going to accept you or whatever it is, right? We all have our reasons. We all have our beliefs that like to sneak in that we don't think we believe, but they're subconscious and they're actually back there. We all have that tiny little voice in our head that says, no, don't do that. That's scary. We don't know what's over there. We all have it. And we're not giving into that anymore, right? Boundary. You gotta have a boundary with yourself. You gotta have a boundary with that scared little girl or boy in you. You gotta have a boundary with her or him. Because we don't have time for that, okay? So you can't tell I'm getting a little spicy here. A, I'm harnessing all the Aries energy in the collective and in this reading that I'm doing. And B, I am an Aries. So, I'm feeling at home with this energy. All right, so basically cut out the bullshit. Stop fluffing your butt cheeks. Stop doing it. Go do and say the things that scare you. Aries energy initiates. I love I'm talking about Aries so much, even though it's Pisces season, but there's a lot of stuff happening in Aries, okay? Aries energy initiates. Aries does not sit around and wait for the time to be right or for you to feel ready. No, she just does the thing, right? And she'll learn as she goes along. So this is what you need to do. I, again, cannot stress enough this new timeline that wants to enter your life, right? It is a quantum leap that is available for each and every one of us. But these are the things we have to do to get prepared for it, right? So January and February, we did the deep healing work. You haven't done it yet. This is your sign. Now we're getting spicy. Now we're getting spicy with ourselves, with our thoughts, right? With our patterns, okay? We're cutting that shit out. See how this is all necessary, though, to prepare you for what wants to enter your life. And that's why I love astrology, and that's why I love to follow the energy, because you really can't make this shit up. And that's how you know it's divine, right? I couldn't make this up, the way this all the energy aligns in perfect place to prepare us for what we need, for what's next, for what's coming next. That's how you know it's from the divine, okay? All right, so let's get into eclipse season. Yeah, so... And again, I'm trying not to get too much into this because all of this is in my astrology forecast for 2025. We will go deeper into this, but the collective needs to hear about March, okay? So the lunar eclipse. Eclipses are a time of fate. Eclipses bring you closer to your destiny. The eclipses on the Pisces, Virgo axis started in January. Well, no, it started last year, but like the nodes officially shifted in January, okay? So this is the first eclipse that we're having in Virgo. It's a lunar eclipse, which means it's paired with a full moon. Lunar eclipses are a time of releasing. It's in Virgo. Virgo is the south node. South node speaks to where we are walking away from, where we need to release, where we are not so concerned with over this 1.5 year period while the nodes are on the Pisces-Virgo axis. Now, this is a big release that is going to be happening on or around the 13th. Release about what? Release of the details. Release of perfectionism. Release of having everything perfect and having everything in order, right? You know how I kind of said, like, do it before you're ready with the Aries energy? This is saying it again, but in a different way. Okay? This is a release of the good girl. A release of, like, having your buttons all the way buttoned up and being a very professional person. No. This is a release of overthinking. This is a release of needing to get it right. This is a release of overworking, okay? Stop overworking to get yourself to where you want to be and actually follow your intuition and your body and your heart and be in alignment and just do the actions that you intuitively know you need to do instead of doing everything at once to get things done, right? This is a release of all those things. So it'll be interesting. If you're a type A person, you might be going through it around this eclipse, right? And I'm not saying there's not a time and a place for the Virgoisms, because there totally is, but not right now. Not right now. Okay? Again, see where Virgo is in your chart to see what area of life is being affected by this. Now, we see how the energy is building, right? The things that are shifting, the puzzle pieces that are being put into place up until the halfway mark of the month, right? Because by the end of the month, that's when things start to come in. Now, I'm excited about this one. We have, on the 29th, the final eclipse of Aries on the Aries-Libra axis. Okay, we've been having eclipses in Aries since June July. So basically, I don't know which month, but summer. Since summer of 2023. North Node in Aries, where we're moving towards, what we need to step into. South Node in Libra, what we're moving away from, what we need to release. Think back to summer of 2023. What has happened since then? What themes started to arise in summer of 2023? Whatever has been transpiring is now coming to a close with a new beginning entering your life. Okay? So North Node in Aries, solar eclipse in Aries, we are stepping into our independence. We are stepping into our own unique path. We are stepping into our leadership. We are stepping in to our fiery side. We are stepping into our spicy side. We are stepping in towards action in our lives. We are trailblazing our own unique path forward. Stepping into our true selves, right? No longer codependent. No longer needing someone or something outside of you to keep you complete. No longer asking other people, should I do this? What do you think? No. You know, and you make those decisions on your own, right? Independence, self-reliance, self-resourced. So, you really want to know what house is being affected with this one. Like, if you don't know, you click the link in the show notes and you book your astrology reading with me ASAP, because you will want to know what house is being affected. Okay? I'll tell you with mine, my 10th house of career, Aries is my 10th house of career. I lost my full-time job. I was a full-time tax accountant. I know it's funny. I don't really look like one, but here we are. Many facets of self. I got ripped out of my full-time tax accounting job literally right around this first eclipse in summer of 2023. And since then, there has been so many shifts in my career. And I feel like I am about to step into what I'm really meant to do, right? Like, there's this is a part of it. This is a huge part of it. The podcast, the YouTube, coming on and sharing, right? But there's also different facets of my career that are starting to come online, and they're all kind of blending together. And I'm not going to get into it, right? But there's been so many shifts in my career since the big release. And that's what happened. It started with a huge release in Aries. It started with the lunar eclipse. And then a lot of shifts have happened, right? And now I can see this new beginning that wants to happen for me. And I've intuitively felt, before I even looked at the astrology, I was like, end of March, something huge has happened in my career. I know it, end of March. And then obviously I look at the astrology and I'm like, yep, makes sense. So look at that house, baby. Look at that house. It's really important, okay? This new beginning, because it has to do with the nodes of fate. Eclipses bring us closer to our destiny. So in astrology, we have something called the North Node and the South Node. We are born with a North Node. We are born with a South Node. Wherever the North Node is, the moment you are born, speaks to your purpose in this lifetime, speaks to your personal destiny in this lifetime, speaks to who you are meant to become and grow into in this lifetime, because it's a growing into it. It doesn't come easy. Nothing comes easy, right? And every time we have eclipses, specifically with the North Node, wherever the North Node is, wherever the eclipse happens, and this shifts every year and a half, North Node shifts, is kind of like a checkpoint, a check mark. Checkpoint is a checkpoint to get you closer and closer and closer and closer and closer to your ultimate destiny. Okay? So whatever new beginning is coming into your life is tied to your destiny. It is tied to your purpose. It is tied to what is meant for you. So even when you can't really understand it, right? Like, some people get like that. And it's like, our human self, it's hard to wrap our heads around. Like, how could this possibly be for me? This was the exact opposite of what I thought I had to do. Yes, but that's not what your soul came here for, what you thought you had to do. And this is bringing you closer to what your soul came here for. And that's ultimate alignment. That's true joy when you plug into that, right? Okay? Right? Okay? So, this new beginning. Now, it doesn't mean like on March 29th, like this big, huge thing's gonna happen. No, I mean like it could. It could. It will happen, if not on the 29th, very fast after, because Aries energy moves fast. She doesn't wait around for nobody or nothing. But this new beginning has to do with whatever started to transpire in summer of 2023. And it is about stepping into your own agency. It is about stepping into your own independence. It is about stepping into your own unique path. This is an entirely new timeline. It's an entirely new timeline. Why? Because something else is happening literally the day after. The exact day after. We are having a transit that none of us on planet Earth have ever witnessed. Nope, no one alive on this planet has ever witnessed. Neptune entering Aries. Seismic. This is seismic. Seismic. After everything that already transpired in March, right after the solar eclipse in Aries, which is a new beginning, new timeline, new life entering, to have this, Neptune's an outer planet. Neptune moves slow as shit. Neptune entering Aries is ginormous. We have never seen it. Never seen it. Never seen it. We don't know what it's going to be like, right? It is a completely new timeline, birth for the collective. Mix it with the new moon, the solar eclipse in Aries, forget about it. Forget about it. Like, we are entering a whole new life. We are. Do you see why you had to go through everything you had to go through to get to this point? Do you see why you had to go through all the shit in January and February to get to this point? You see how you had to be really like a ninja with your thoughts and your patterns with Mercury in Aries, right? You see why you had to cut out some relationships with the Venus retrograde in Aries? Because that can't enter this new life, baby. It can't. It can't. It can't. Okay? Neptune in Aries. Ooh, baby. That's a spiritual awakening for the collective, let me tell you. Yep. Neptune is our creativity. Neptune is our imagination. Neptune is our spirituality. In fiery Aries. Woo! If you're not awake already, baby, your eyes are about to be pried the hell open. Let me just tell you that. Seriously, though, please look and see what house Aries is in your chart. That's where we're going to stop it for today. Because, you know what? To continue this conversation, I will have to go into April. And we will do April at the beginning of April. Because we're not making this a 2-hour-long podcast episode. So yeah, you know, I'm excited for this month. If you can't tell by my energy, I'm pumped. It's going to be big. It's going to be huge. A new life is entering, okay? So let's talk about how to harness this energy actually before we close her out. This is quantum leap energy. Okay, now the quantum leap. Obviously, do everything I told you to do in this podcast. Pay attention to the energy I was outlining for you. Please do the inner work if you haven't done it yet. Please start cutting shit out of your life if you haven't done that yet. Please get your mind on board. Look at those patterns, those beliefs that are not in alignment, and nope, cut them out, okay? So that's like the healing part. There's a healing part to the quantum leap energy, right? It is the releasing, it is the clearing out, it is the making way. Now there's also alignment with the energy part, and that is why I keep talking about see what houses are affected, please. We need to be in alignment with the energy that is available for each and every one of us. That is in our birth chart. That is also in our numerology, right? I'm a mystic guide. I look at the patterns that the universe sends each and every one of us. We each have our own unique patterns and energy at play and available for us. Each person has unique energy available for you. That is why it is so important to understand how it is playing out for you. None of this cookie cutter reading shit, because that's for the collective. It has nothing to do with you. Okay? You need to figure out how this affects you. So we look into the universal energies at play for ourselves. We plug into that. We align with that. And then we also are able to put in our own desires, right? So I'll tell you where this new beginning is going to happen in your life, depending on where Aries is in your chart. I'll tell you where the universe is ushering you towards. But what do you want? So how can you put your desires in that, right? So for me, this new beginning is happening in my career. But what do I want my career to look like, right? And that's where the coaching comes in. That's where the support comes in. Now, lucky for you, I have a very special 3-session package available called the Quantum Leap. Now, if you just wanted to know about your astrology, that's a separate thing. Great. But if you are ready to harness this energy like a badass and lock in your quantum leap for end of March, early April, you're going to want to buy this package. In this package, we go through your astrology for the year. Okay? Especially this month, we'll go through it, how it affects you. We're going to go through your numerology, how to get in alignment with what's available for you. Then we're going to do the healing. Okay, I'm also a healer. We're going to remove the energy, the beliefs, the emotions, whatever has to be removed from your body, from your mind, so you're a clear state, a clear slate to receive what it is you want to receive. And to be doing the reconfiguration of your energetic field to be a match for that what you want. And then is the coaching. That's where we plan it out. That's where we create your plan. That's where we see but I want this to happen. So how can I be in alignment with the energy that's available for me? And we do all the coaching, and I sit there and I hold your hand and we map it all out to ensure your quantum leap. Okay? Information, again, in the show notes. Really, really, really amazing package, especially for this month. If you want to harness the energy of March, get that package. Guarantee you, new timeline. Everyone's gonna be in a new timeline, but the caliber of the new timeline, the bigness of the new timeline, the alignment with what you desire of the new timeline, right? Because we could be put into another timeline where we're kind of huh, right? But if you want it to be big and in alignment with that what you desire, do this framework either on your own or I'll do it with you, baby. Okay? I love you so much. Thank you for being here. Make sure to subscribe, comment, and I will talk to you soon.